Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I'm focusing on this month some offers that we've got. We've got 20% off stamp set and die bundles. There's a few. If you have a look at the link below, you will always be able to see, I've got a link through to my shop. You'll always be able to see the special offers over on there. And today we're looking at Quiet Meadow and the coordinating dies Meadow dies. Really love this stamp set. It's just, it's beautiful. It's got all sorts in there and we're going to have a play with that. And the dies are just, again, lovely. If you want meadow flowers, you want silhouettes, you want all sorts of things, lovely little framed border for doing your sentiments, lovely little butterfly, and we're going to be using a couple of those and using it with the mini Stamp and Cut stamping cut and emboss machine, which is this little one. And this again has got 20% off at the moment during the month of March. So if you're somebody who is starting out, hasn't got a die cutting machine, would like one, good idea to start with one of those. So we're also looking at the in colours, which are retiring this year. So I always say, and I will say it at the beginning of each one of them, if you haven't got these colours, if you love these colours, if you've maybe got one of the stamp sets because you love the colour, make sure you get the re-inkers and things now, because as soon as they advertise that the retiring list is up, they go immediately. And when I say immediately, they will go within 24 hours and you won't be able to ever get them again. So heads up to get them early. We're going to be using some of these colours because I love the way they match together and they work beautifully. Again, I've always said people who are starting off, if you get one of the sets of in colours, you know that you've got a really good selection. So we are going to take a piece of basic white cardstock. The matte we're going to use is the Misty Moonlight because I fancy the blues. And we're going to start by building up a scene fairly quickly and simply, because I want to try and do, I keep saying I want to try and do some shorter videos, but once I start prattling on and playing with ideas, they don't always pick up. So this stamp set, what we're going to do is we're going to build up some layers and some images. So first of all, I'm going to put on this lovely flower because I want that to sort of go down there. Now I've got a couple of ink blocks out, but I need a longer one for this one, so I'm going to take one of these. You can hear me straining, that's because I'm trying to get it out of its case. I have all of mine in, I'll show you, I have all of mine in the case, which stores my stamp, my ink pads, sorry, my blocks, and it means that I can have them beautifully on there. So I'm just going to put that on like that, and I am going to ink this up in, we're going to do most of it, I think, in Misty Moonlight, maybe with a couple of other colours in, but Misty Moonlight is one of my favourites. So we're going to ink this up with the Misty Moonlight, and then I'm going to, now with it being a big one, I don't have to be able to work out where I'm going to stamp it or hold it up. I'm just going to put it down on that side like this. So you now have this very pretty little flower, really like that. And I'm trying to show you ways as well where you don't have to do a lot of stamping or colouring in or things like that. Now I'm just looking for my, where did, oh there it is. I knew I'd put it up there somewhere. My Simply Chamois, which is getting pretty revolting at the moment. I really need to give it a good old clean again, which I will do at a later date. Okay, so that is that one. Then I want to do, I really like these words. Now, the words on here, you can see they're all about sort of gardening, and excuse me, they're very good for just literally putting across. Now I'm just going to put them in on the side, and I'm going to take this time, because I want to use some of the other colours. So I'm going to be using, what shall we do? We've used the blue. So let's have a look at the other colours. I don't think I want to use pink this time. I think I'm going to use the Just Jade, because I think blues and greens used to be going back. Blues and greens should never be seen, but now blues and greens are actually quite popular together. So I'm just going to ink this up and see whether I've got it the right way up or not. So I'm just going to take a little scrap of paper that I've got here to just make sure that I've got it. Yes, I have. Look at that. So I want to make sure that I've got it the right way up. And I'm just going to put, I'm going to put this on here so I don't go over my that's quite good, isn't it? That's a complete angle, but I don't suppose that really matters. I think I might do some of them just at different angles in on here. So we've got, let's have another one just coming in on here. There we go. Okay, so I've got 3 lots, and again, it doesn't matter if you can't get things straight. I've just done it, and it as you can see, it's not overly straight on there, but that's fine. So I'm just going to clean that out. But you've got this lovely sort of building up textures and things without putting extra layers on. So that's doing the blue. Now, so we've got blue and green together. And then I'm going to take the spots, because we like spots. So I've got these little spots and things on here. And I can either do them in the yellow or I can do them in the brown. So you can see the colours coming through. I think I'm going to use the Bumblebee, because again, that's a really popular one. So I'm just with the Bumblebee. I'm going to take this up and we'll have some splats through on there and just some splats through on there. And I might just take a little bit on there and a little bit coming through on there. So you've got some colour coming through on that, which I think is rather good. Now, we can then take, so if I go back to using, so we've used a few of these colours. I can take that out of the way for now, move this back onto here. And you can then see that's sort of given quite a simple plain background. I'm not doing any colouring or anything on there because that's our background. Now I want to have the wording, and I'm going to have thinking of you, because that's quite appropriate for a lot of cards. So we're going to take that, and I'm going to be then picking up the blues again. So I'm going to put that on. Always have little scraps and things over. So I'm going to put that on, and we're going to do that with the, whoops, Misty Moonlight. So I can ink that up, thinking of you. And I'm just going to put that in on the centre like that. Quite a nice sort of plain font on there, which is good. And then let me just clean that off. Then I want to do a little, so I'm going to put that back in there. So now I can get my, I'm going to put these back in the case. I need to then get my stamping, cut and emboss machine, the mini, because I'm showing you the mini all this month, so that if you wants to get one, you can get it with the discount. And we're going now into the dies. So very versatile stamp set this, but you can do an awful lot with it. So the dies we're going to get out is this one, because we want that to be our nice framed border. And I'm just going to take out a little butterfly this time. I don't think I'm going to do any of the flowers. I might just do one. We'll see. We'll see. I think that might be a bit of an overkill, but we'll have a little look and see if I can do that or not. So what I need to do now is, those are my ink pads there. I'm going to move this out of the way, because you don't want, if you're going to try and die cut things, you can see on here it's going to slide. It has little feet on at the bottom. So what I do is I will put it, you can see it's got little rubber feet on there, and so it'll go quite nicely on there. So take both the sides down, and as I was saying to you the other day, if you want sizes, that's a standard ink pad. You can see it is literally the size of an ink pad size-wise. So if you look and see for your dies, very easy way is to just work out if it's the size of my ink pad, then I know what I'm doing. So you need to put things in so that they are they're layered. If you put it all at the same, like one of the bigger ones, it doesn't work. So we're going to have the thinking of you. We're going to have the little, let's make sure I'm in. Yes, I am. Tend to slide out a bit when I'm in on there, so that's going to come in there. That's going to go over there on thinking of you. So I can then tuck this little piece in underneath here like that and slide it in at an angle, and then I just need to make sure that we're, oops, if I get this in so that it catches on an angle like that, then it will, ooh, was that slid? I think that slid actually, that's my fault. Let me just put it up here a little bit more in on here, because it's my, you can see that my board, my plate is a little bit warped, so I don't want it to. Make sure that that's in like that. Take it in at the angle. There we go. That's better. And then we'll just put that through. Oops, to come out the other side. And that's got our lovely little sentiment thinking of you, which is ever such a pretty one, because you've got this rather nice little pattern on there, so we can put that down on there. I'm going to get my scissors. I need my take your pick tool, but I haven't got it at the moment, so that's going to be fine. So let's just take those little pieces out, and I'm then going to do another one just in the Misty Moonlight, because I just want to have, so I can put that in like that on there. Again, put it in at a slight angle, because then it allows just a little bit of, if you've got a little bit of movement or whatever on there, you can, you know that it's going in sideways and it's not so much of a clonk. So take that one in. So we've got two of those like that, because that's going to give us just, we're going to just do a little bit of a split one on there. And then we're going to have the little butterfly. So I'm going to put that one in again. And you can see how warped that is now, but it doesn't detract from it too much, and it still works okay. As I say, I've got a pack of new plates, and what I tend to do is I will change over one of them. So I will change over, when I need to put a new plate in, I will put the, let's put that on here, I will put this plate, which hasn't been used as much, I'll put this one in on the bottom and put a new plate on top. So I'm only changing over one plate. This one, as I say, has got quite bendy on there now, so I need to try and straighten it. You can straighten it with hot water, and you can straighten it with, you know, just putting it in a sink of very hot water and leaving it. And because it's quite small, I think it'll work quite well. So I'll let you know how I get on with that. So let's bring this back. I was thinking of doing this other die as well, but to be quite honest, I don't think I am. Excuse me. So I'm going to have the Thinking of You coming across like that. And I'm going to do this as sort of a little bit of a, in fact, I tell you what I'm going to do with this, because I like the border of it. You can see where your little dots are. So I'm going to just very carefully cut along those dot lines. And if I cut just inside those, just by a smidging, and then cut just inside or along those ones, just inside on there, so I can take this off just a little bit. So I'm just doing inside it. This one just needs to come off a tiny bit. And then that is going to fit beautifully inside here. So we can then have that on there. So that makes a lovely little frame. And you see, again, use these often for your sentiments, because you put lots of beautiful sentiments in on there. Then we've got the little butterfly, which we're just going to have just sort of floating in on there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a little bit of Wink of Stella. If I can find it. Not sure what I've done with my Wink of Stella. I've got it about somewhere, so I will put some Wink of Stella in. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add just a little bit of Wink of Stella in on the flowers, put the sentiment in like that, pop that up with a dimensional, and you've got a really pretty simple card using some of the dies. I could have made it more extravagant by putting this one in, and I might actually do that later on. So I could put another one that just comes in like that, which just gives again another bit of texture. But you've got lovely ideas and things with this, and it's such a beautiful stamp set. So it was Quiet Meadow with the coordinating dies, Meadow dies. So that bundle together is 20% discount off at the moment. And you've got the little mini stamping, cut and emboss machine, and again that's got 20% off as well at the moment. So, you know, have a look down. As I say, the link's always below, and you know, go across, and if you want to have a little bit of a saving at the moment, you can do. So thank you so much for watching me. As always, please stay safe and well, please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.